after recording the session about the homeless scams, I figured I would go ahead and do a part two because I just thought of something else. And this is from the standpoint of the administration, the people that are in charge. Being involved in a homeless program or providing any type of services to people who are economically disadvantaged, it's a stressful position, no doubt about it. After I was able to get on my feet somewhat, of course, I told you that I went back to volunteer in different capacities, so I was able to establish a strong relationship with a couple of people that were in the program that worked for the program. A lot of these cases, when they have people in rehabs and homeless programs, these are people who went through the experience. You couldn't have anybody off the street who didn't go through the program to be able to assist people that are in the program, because even though these people are economically disadvantaged, they peep game because they ran game. Okay? So they're going to be able to look and tell if somebody is green. So for all intents and purposes, they go ahead and hire people who've already been through the struggle and made it out to the other side. It's preferred that they get someone like that, because that way these people can communicate on a level where others won't be able to because they went through it. Okay? All the books and education in the world does not replace experience in some cases, and that's just the truth. So in the cases of case managers and administration, you got to be very careful. I have seen over the short period of time that I was involved in the program, which was a little less than 2 years, about 6 or 7 months in the program, and then the remainder of the time just working with the organization. As volunteer, of course, I was never on the payroll or on a schedule or anything like that, just a little something here and there. I have seen numerous caseworkers that were fired. People who withdrew. The people who withdrew, the stress was too much, taking that on for the pay that they were getting. And in a lot of these organizations, they don't get paid a whole lot of money. It could be personal issues where they're not getting paid a whole lot of money. They took on a second gig, and the second gig turned out to benefit them better. It could be an economic thing. But in the cases of the people who get fired, the case managers or whatever the case is, it's either one or two reasons why they get fired. Number one, they were a former addict who relapsed, and that's a no-no. You can't be a case manager and handle anybody else if you're still using. It's not going to work. So, eventually, someone tells on you, you slip up, you get caught or something like that, and then you wind up getting fired. The second case is when you find out that a client of yours is actually not going according to the program, not obeying the rules, and you are either in cahoots with them as far as their activities, or you're aware of them and fail to do anything about it. Now, when you're dealing with these organizations, there's a lot of reporting, a lot of paperwork that needs to be done. The managers of these facilities have to record the whereabouts of every person. There are sign-in sheets. They have to do journals of what occurred during the shift every single day. It's required of their position. So for someone to come in and out and think that they're flying under the radar, they're being watched from the moment they come in the door, because that's that person's job. And in some cases, they will kind of let things slide, so to speak, and don't understand the fact that somebody else is watching. And in a lot of cases that these people that get fired under these circumstances, they got turned in by somebody else who was in proximity to the whole situation. They sat and waited, and they dropped a dime on them. So they were either in cahoots, or they simply turned a blind eye to the situation, thinking that nobody else would find out, and they wind up losing their job. And that's a big thing, especially if it's someone, let's say that you're doing an internship through the program, or this is your first official position coming out of a program and you're trying to gain experience, or you could have been with the program for a while. It's a blot on your resume. It does not look good on your CV at all. And it will be very, very difficult for you to get another job, especially if it's associated with the government doing that again. So, if you're one of these people who has done that, I strongly suggest that maybe you just consider another field, or start a business of your own maybe, because people have been blacklisted. They have been blacklisted. It's the truth, because of the nature of how they got terminated from a position like that. A lot of these organizations are run on government funding, whether it's state, federal, or a combination of the two. So that's the purpose of all the reporting that is necessary to account for the use of the funds. So if someone that they, have on their so-called payroll, they have funded an organization and people are getting paid to help these people and they're not on the up and up, that they can withdraw funds, they can not renew funding, they can withdraw sources altogether. Word can get out to people who are private donors and they can withdraw funding. It can destroy an organization. So in order to avoid that, the powers that be will let somebody go. So I just wanted to let you guys know what goes on behind the scenes. And also, people have this idea that when somebody says that they're in a homeless program, they're thinking about those things they see on TV where you've got this raggedy looking building and you've got beds lined up for days on this main floor. And, a lot of places are not even like that. Not even like that at all. That's just that's just a little extra drama on TV. There are some like that, but not that many. Most of them are like a home style type setting, or set up like apartments or dormitories, that type of thing. It's not like what it is on TV. They do that for effect, basically.